Hello to all my fellow aviators out there. My name is Sean O'Connell, and this project is about engine fires in flight. So let's get started. So, what could possibly cause an engine fire? Well, a flammable substance such as fuel, oil, hydraulic fluid comes in contact with a hot surface. That will definitely do it right there. A mechanical failure of the engine itself, an engine-driven accessory, a defective induction or exhaust system, or a broken line, or a maintenance error such as improperly installed fastened lines and or fitting results in leaks. Pretty common cause being a leak in the fuel line getting ignited. So, how can you even tell that there is an engine fire? Well, there could be smoke or flames coming from the engine cowling area. There could be discoloration, bubbling, melting of the engine cowling skin in cases where the flames and or smoke are not visible to the pilot. And one thing to realize is that by the time a pilot becomes aware of the in-flight engine fire, it is usually pretty well developed. Yeah, another thing you could look for is a drop in oil pressure or fuel flow. So, what is your actions once you realize what is going on? What you want to do is follow and perform the emergency checklist in your airplane flight manual or pilot's operating handbook. It is important to know the bold-faced memory items from the checklist. That's why I have it there in all caps, because that's something you should be able to just do right away without even looking at the checklist. Also, you're going to have to make an immediate forced landing because the aircraft is pretty unstable at that point, and you don't know if you might lose complete control of the aircraft due to the fire causing any deficiencies in structural integrity. And once you are on the ground, get out of the aircraft and possibly try to extinguish the fire. But the biggest thing is protecting the safety of yourself and your passengers. You don't want to get near the aircraft if you think that it may possibly explode or anything like that. You want to stay safe. Your life is more valuable than just an aircraft. So the airplane I fly, the Cessna 172 nav 3 GFC 700 engine fire in-flight checklist. You have the first 4 memory items. That's why I have them in all caps there. You have the mixture control, idle cutoff, pull full out, the fuel shutoff valve, that's off, so pull that out. The fuel pump switch, that's off. You have number 4, the master switch, the alternator, and the battery turn off. That one's a little bit disputed, just because if you do turn the master switch off, you're not able to squawk the emergency code 7700 and possibly call for help or let anybody know what is going on, or use flaps for your forced landing. So that is something to take into consideration. And then you have cabin vents open as needed to possibly get smoke out of the cockpit. And then you have cabin heat and cabin air control knobs. Turning those off, push them in to avoid any drafts. Then you have the airspeed. They want you to pitch for 100 knots, and that's to create an incombustible mixture, hoping that the wind and the air outside will possibly eliminate the fire. And you can always go faster than that, but you don't want to exceed the structural integrity of the aircraft. And then you have number 8, the forced landing, which you're going to have to execute. And that's an emergency landing without engine power, and there's also another checklist for that. So you're going to have to perform that as well. So after this all results, and hopefully you're near an airport or some kind of field where you can actually make a safe landing and get down safely, you will have to make a report to the NTSB, and that is NTSB Part 830.5 Subpart B, Initial Notification of Aircraft Accidents, Incidents, and Overdue Aircraft. So basically what that says is the operator of any civil aircraft shall immediately and by the most expeditious means available notify the nearest National Transportation Safety Board office when an in-flight fire occurs. So that is what you're going to have to do, and so they can check that out and see what caused it, and hopefully make aviation safer. So appreciate you watching, and have a good one.